Independent educational content. Views and opinions are entirely my own and do not reflect the official policies or positions of Akamai Technologies. All right, welcome to today's explainer. We are setting the stage for a strategic, highly technical deep dive into securing modern web applications. Look, if you work in security or compliance, you already know JavaScript is the absolute engine of the modern web. It's what makes everything work. But that exact same digital supply chain, it has created a massive, often unchecked attack surface. So today, we're exploring a specific solution to this, Akamai Client-Side Protection and Compliance.
And just as a quick piece of housekeeping, because we are discussing critical real-world security architecture today, I want to be fully transparent that this is an independent, purely educational analysis based entirely on the source materials.
Okay, here's our roadmap for this explainer. 1. The client-side blind spot. 2. Inside client-side protection. 3. Flexible deployment architecture. 4. Stopping skimming and exfiltration. And finally, 5. Streamlining PCI DSS compliance.
Okay, let's dive right into Section 1, the client-side blind spot, and really unpack the hidden attack surface.
Before we go any further, let's make sure we're sharing the same technical vocabulary. What exactly is JavaScript skimming? Well, think of it like a digital version of those physical card skimmers you might find at a gas station pump. Cybercriminals actively hunt for vulnerabilities in the JavaScript supply chains that your websites rely on every single day. By injecting malicious code into those chains, they silently skim incredibly sensitive information. We're talking payment card data, user credentials, personal details, and they exfiltrate it for fraudulent use directly from within the user's browser.
So, you might be wondering, why is this specific attack vector so wildly successful? It comes down to visibility. Traditional protections, like your web application firewalls, are essentially designed to guard the front door. They monitor server-side traffic. But the terrifying reality is that they are completely blind to the activity executing on the client side, inside the user's actual browser. And while standards-based approaches like content security policies exist, they are notoriously difficult to manage, and they really struggle to stop malicious payloads coming from third-party scripts. This creates a literal blind spot where harmful code can go completely undetected for days, weeks, or even months, totally bypassing your server-side security.
Moving on to Section 2, Inside Client-Side Protection, where we look at how to actually close this gap.
Now, what's really interesting about Akamai's approach to this security gap is that it doesn't just rely on static signatures. Instead, it leans heavily into heuristic scoring and machine learning. And I know, those sound like ultimate industry buzzwords, right? But in this context, they are strict operational necessities. Because malicious actors are constantly mutating their code, Akamai's technology actually runs right there in the end user's browser. It is constantly analyzing script behavior in real time, looking for sudden, anomalous changes to catch unauthorized or sketchy actions the second they happen.
Let's walk through the precise 4-step workflow to see how this operates in practice. First up is setup. This is just injecting simple scripts into monitored pages, and crucially, this has absolutely no meaningful impact on website performance. Next, we monitor and assess. This is collecting that JavaScript activity straight from the web browser, where the machine learning models jump in to weigh the risk. Step 3 is alert. If an active threat is found, your security teams get real-time, highly detailed intel. And finally, Step 4, mitigate. With literally just one click, that malicious JavaScript is restricted from exfiltrating sensitive data. It is a clean, incredibly fast response mechanism.
Let's transition to Section 3, Flexible Deployment Architecture, because integration is everything.
We all know a great security tool is completely useless if you can't integrate it smoothly into your existing enterprise stack. The beauty here is that you are not forced into a single deployment box. Depending on your organization's unique infrastructure, you can deploy this protection seamlessly via the Akamai Connected Cloud, leveraging edge-based protection for massive scale and super low latency. Or alternatively, you can deploy it directly at the origin server. This level of flexibility ensures that regardless of how your digital real estate is set up, you can close that blind spot without having to tear up your existing routing and delivery configurations.
All right, Section 4, Stopping Skimming and Exfiltration. Let's talk about the day-to-day operational reality.
So, how does the security team actually use this? Well, these core capabilities give your team an unmatched view into your client-side attack surface. First off, you can track script behavior in real user sessions. You see a script's reach, its impact, and exactly what data it accesses. Second, you can rapidly identify common vulnerabilities and exposés, all backed by Akamai's massive threat intelligence network. Third, you gain the power of policy management to actively govern runtime JavaScript execution. And honestly, my favorite part, you don't have to monitor another siloed dashboard. You can integrate these actionable alerts directly into your existing SIEM workflows for completely unified monitoring and response.
Finally, Section 5, Streamlining PCI DSS Compliance. This is where we talk about streamlining audits and reducing headaches. For a lot of organizations, compliance is way more than just a checkbox. It is a critical, highly stressful operational burden. But this technology serves as a massive accelerator to make that whole process easier. If you handle any kind of payment card data, you are absolutely facing the strict new PCI DSS version 4.0 requirements. Specifically, Requirement 6.4.3 demands script integrity, inventory, and justification. That means you must track and ensure the authorization of every single script loaded on protected payment pages. On top of that, Requirement 11.6.1 mandates immediate detection and response to unauthorized changes or tampering. Akamai Client-Side Protection and Compliance was purpose-built to address these exact mandates. It accelerates your compliance teams rather than bogging them down in endless manual checks.
And the way this translates to the day-to-day work for your compliance and security teams is through a highly intuitive dashboard. It tracks and inventories all your payment page scripts in one unified place. It massively simplifies the entire auditing process by providing predefined justifications and automated rules. Plus, you get dedicated, actionable PCI alerts. Think about it. If a script is unauthorized, if someone attempts to exfiltrate payment data, or if a page is tampered with, it is logged and flagged immediately. It literally takes the heavy lifting completely out of v4.0 auditing.
I want to leave you with one final, absolutely critical thought to chew on. If your traditional WAF only guards the front door, who is watching the malicious scripts executing inside your users' browsers right now? Seriously, the client-side supply chain is vast, and without specialized protection like machine learning and real-time behavioral analysis, it is entirely dark to your security team. I highly encourage you to evaluate your own stack's blind spots and consider how client-side visibility can not only protect your end users, but also dramatically streamline your compliance efforts. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and keep learning.